Yeah.
I'm turning the machine on. Light comes on. Our first thing we're going to do is take the old blade out. So first you got to reach back here and get the wooden case that carries it.
I think Rick should say at the beginning of the meeting, if you're watching this, it's probably a good idea.
Not yet. This is the board that's going to hold it. Down here, there's an Allen wrench on the shelf. We keep it right there. We need this tool. We need these two tools. And these two tools. So we need these are to hold the blade, these are to adjust the blade, and this is to tighten it down on the wood carrier. So the first thing we're going to do, there's slots in the blade right here and right here. We're going to loosen those pretty tight. So loosen those, take them all the way out. Put them right there.
What do you drop the blade?
When you're ready to put in the new one. Okay. Now you take those two out because there's a slot in it. That's where this thing will go down. The rest of them are holes, so they won't let the blade come down. Put these in. Tighten them down as tight as you can. Okay, because these two are going to be holding the blade on the carrier that holds it. If you hold this thing like this, so it's parallel, it's easier to loosen the one nuts that are in there. Okay. That's all the nuts that are holding the blade. Now we're going to take the blade out. I'm going to loosen them and the blade will drop down. Sometimes it drops down really quick. Sometimes you have to jiggle a little bit. They're ready to hold the weight. You don't want the edge of the blade to hit anything. We'll go ahead and take these out. You can edit this, can't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just got it all out.
See, it slides right down. As soon as it clears the carrier that's holding it, it'll come loose. Then I put it in the paper. Now there's holes in here. What you do is find the hole where the nut is. Screw this back in. But don't ever touch the edge of the blade. Don't ever touch the blade, period, unless the cutting edge is hidden. This is a dull blade, but it's still to your skin and everything else. It's mighty sharp. That's where we use the crescent wrench. You'll notice I put the dull side of the sticker out. So when the guy comes, he'll get the right blade. Thank you. This is the sharp blade, because it says sharp. From the company. Take these out. Now these, if you'll notice, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. You go the second one in on this, and you put it in the bottom hole. That's because it's new, fairly new. Because when you get it in there and you're not lined up with those slots, you got it in the wrong hole, you're gonna nick the blade or do something. You screw these in till they touch the wood, which is on the other side, and back them off a couple turns. Then I pull the blade out, and I turn the blade on the wood very carefully. I let it sit there on the wood, and I wipe the inside of the blade down, keeping the sharp end way down. It's down against the wood. Okay, before I put the blade in, I'm going to turn it on, and I'm going to run it down. I'm going to hold these in until it stops. Okay, see it stop? Wait for the motor to stop. Okay, the motor will shut off automatically. Okay, up underneath here, there's a screw here and a screw here kind of lined up with these. I screw it counterclockwise to loosen it a little bit. That's in case this blade is shorter than the other one. Okay, now we turn it off. Now we got to put it back up so we can get the blade into it. If this is the carrier that holds it. Okay, we're back up, ready to put it in. Now just be really careful not to hit the sides of this of the cutter with the blade, because boy, it'll dull it like that. So you pick it up, taking it really careful, find the slot, pull it up, and you lift up at the same time you screw it. If you're not sure, loosen it, then pull it up. Make sure it's all the way up. Okay, we're ebb. See, I scratch myself on the edge. Okay, those are the only thing holding the blade in. Go in here, find the hole that it'll fit in. Okay, that'll hold it. That'll hold it. I put 3, 2 on the outside edges, maybe 1 in the middle. Tighten it. Not tighten it, but just finger tight. Then take these out, loosen them. Take these out. I put this back together. And I put this back down there. Okay, we won't need these anymore. I put these in and back them off about a 1 turn because I don't want these to hold the blade. Okay, we know. Okay, we got all three. The 1, 2, 3. There's 3 holding the blade in. The other ones are just sitting in there loose. We want to make this thing. Excuse me. Okay. So it comes. We want this cutter stick to be the same height as the bed, so you don't jam paper in and hit that thing and screw up your first sheet or whatever you do when you're cutting. It has to be level with the bed, which it is now, but I have been cutting on it, so I don't know how close it is. Could you give me 2 pieces of that blue paper, 20 pound? Here's my assistant. His name is Curtis. Okay, now we're in. I'm going to bring it down and hold it down. In other words, take it down and leave it down until it stops. Okay, this one isn't cut. This one isn't cut. It's not cutting either one. So that's good. What I want to do now is I'm going to make it so it's right even with the bed. So I'm going to shut it off, turn it back on. It's the only way you get the blade back up. Okay, it did cut a little bit over here. So I'm going to take the stick out. New blade, you want a new cutting area. It's nice and smooth. I'll put it back in, and it's still same size. It's nice and flat. Okay, we'll put this back in and bring the blade down and stop. Okay, this one cut. So this one over here, this one will go up there. See, it's loose. I'll put the wrench on it. There's a place on top where you put the wrench. And just kind of snug that down. That comes down and hits the top of his blade. Now I'm going to loosen it. Okay, there's actually nothing holding that blade now. Nothing is there to hold it. So we know that side's cutting, so I'm going to turn this side down clockwise. Turn this. Did you hear that? It has a tick. It means it just cut it. There's a little tick noise it makes. It'll change this side. That was way off, so I'll turn it down to there. Then after we make our adjustment, we'll lock the blade there where it's at. Turn it back on. Wait for it to come up. Okay, now we're going to see how close we are. We're just going to make a regular cut. Voila, it cut the full sheets and everything's good. Now after a while, somebody will be cutting on this. After a while, it will stop cutting on this side, usually on the left side. What you want to do is you don't want to, shim the stick up. You want to go down, loosen them all, and then just turn this one down a little bit, tighten it back up, and go again. That way the stick will stay level with the bed. If you're in a hurry, go ahead and cheat. But don't tell anybody I told you that. Okay. Now, all we have to do now, I'm sure that it's not gonna cut very long before it has to be readjusted. Now we're gonna go through and tighten all these. Pretty tight. Due to the vibration and everything of the cutter, it will, if you don't get those tight, the nut will back out and fall out. And then I take the tools, all my tools, put them back here. Tighten this. Put the wrench back up on top. That's it.
That's it.
The end.